Sunday the 13th of September 1998 will rank as one of the great days in hurling when the faithful county lifted the McCarthy Cup following an unprecedented 8 championship games.
People of Offaly, we've done it!
Offaly's road to the final charts an odyssey of power and passion that led to ultimate glory.
The draw for the Leinster Championship is like a story yet to be told. Struggling Kilkenny against Dublin, Offaly against Lowly Meath, the winners to meet Wexford. And the summer brings early controversy. Relations between the Offaly players and Babs Keating are ruptured.
We had a challenge game in Clonmel in a tournament, and you can imagine for me, I'm on my own down in Clonmel, because Clonmel is my hometown, you can say, and we had a good crowd at the match, up to 3,000 people, and you know, the match was due to start at 7:15 and only 2 Offaly hurlers in the dressing room. So you can imagine the embarrassing situation that I found myself in. And you can be sure that there were plenty of smart Alex around Clonmel too to send it home. And it was hard for me to take. And, you know, to be fair, the events in hurlers, which were unexpected now in terms of attendance and the numbers that attended at the semi-final that day. But and a lot of players took it on themselves to take an evening off too now, which wasn't healthy. But we sorted those things out, and the players came back and apologised and said that it was a once-off, and please, you know, we're 3/4 way there, so why break the thing up at this stage? I would hope like that the players that won in All Ireland in '94 should have a sufficient, you know, knowledge of what's required. And a lot of them have, but there's a certain amount of laziness in a way, and in a way a lack of control on themselves and collectively that bring this about. But I'm happy enough, like I said, I don't want to be, I'm gone beyond shouting and roaring at players at this stage of my life. If they're not prepared to listen to the message that I have to give them, they won't listen to anybody.
Mark Hand does well. Tries to get inside first, John Troy. There's a chance here for Billy Dooley. It's on the line, it's in, it's a goal for Offaly. Nice combination here by Offaly. John Troy almost got to it. Billy Dooley was the one that had to work hard. And there it was, waiting just for the touch to scrape it in. Brian Wheelahan with the free, and it's a good one. John Troy. One of our blocks. The long ball arrived in. But watch this for brilliant finishing. First time pull by John Troy. Brian Wheelahan's ball and connection by John Troy. Wonderful skill. Brian Wheelahan sent in a perfectly floated ball. Troy seemed to connect. Billy Dooley to Joe Dooley. Here comes the finishing touch. A goal and 4 points for Joe Dooley. The Dooley brothers combining nicely here. Billy to Joe, and Joe into the back of the net.
1998, a year of celebration for Wexford, and indeed Ireland, as they remembered the deeds of the United Irishmen of 1798. With the Tour de France coming to town as part of the celebrations, the stage is set for the county's hurlers to cap this great year and bring the Lee McCarthy Cup back to Wexford. But are the wheels coming off Wexford's challenge before the hurlers even take to the field? 3 key players from last year's Leinster final will be missing on Sunday: Rod Guiney, Liam Dunn and Gary Laffin. And if Adrian Fendon makes the team, a question mark will linger over his fitness.
We've had a whole National League campaign and the Walsh Cup matches and the South East League matches to make sure that we've planned properly without these people. And a lot of new people have come onto the panel. I suppose we brought, Podge and Eddie, myself, brought 7 new people onto the panel. And a few from the last year's 21 team have come very strongly into contention for places for Sunday. Now, let me add that we're not making any excuses about the injuries. Other county teams, including Offaly, have their problems with injuries. We just seem to have more than our fair share, and we could do without any more between now and then. But the established players are playing particularly well at the minute, and the younger lads are doing very well too. And I feel, you know, that if we perform to our ability on the day, that we won't be too far away on the 14th of June.
Here's Billy Dooley, burying it a goal. Sugar, great save!
Damien Fitzhenry came to Wexford's rescue in the '97 clash with Offaly. But some experts had written off Wexford's challenge this year.
We don't really mind what anybody says, whether they think we're not good enough or what. Like, we've trained hard, we're having a nice quick build up to the game, and we're hopeful that everything hinges on next Sunday's game with Offaly, and after that we can talk or not, you know. To be honest with you, we have limitations in the team, but nothing we can do about those. Those are just acts of God, as I say, and there's nothing we can do, only put in lads in place of lads and hope for the best, you know.
The reality is that Offaly have dominated Leinster for the last 15 years. They have, I think, they have 8 Leinster titles. Wexford have 2. You know, they're experienced, and they have an abundance of talent. They brought in a few new players as well, and they have a new manager. And Babs, like we all know, that Babs is extremely knowledgeable and experienced, and he's going to bring something special to Offaly this year.
Right into the corner there. Few problems once again for the Offaly backline. Rory McCarthy trying to make some headway in towards the end line, seeking out some assistance. Larry Murphy is there. Larry, the familiar style, coming through, and it's stopped by the stick of the goalkeeper, and it's gone over the bar. Fenlon looking sharp in midfield, whipping it way down. Tom Dempsey's after it. Hubert Rigney has committed himself. Hubert comes out. He leaves a man inside who's Larry Murphy to try to cover that gap. It's Tom Dempsey. Oh, should have been something after all of that. So far, a tight, tough, physical battle. That's one back there by Michael Dignan for Offaly. The hand pass into space. Johnny Pilkington had kept moving forward. Look at the target. He's a wonderful player, Pilkington. Again, it's Paul Codd in towards Tom Dempsey, who switched into top of the left momentarily. Larry Murphy comes out there. 2 players alongside him. Michael Mitch-Jordan there. Jordan playing it back towards Martin Storey, challenged by Wheelahan, challenged by the other Wheelahan, and he beats the 2 of them, he puts it over the bar. A second point for the Wexford team captain. First he beat Barry Wheelahan, then he beat Brian. Robert Hassey here, Mark Hand, 2 new names. Back it comes to Larry O'Gorman. Cross it goes towards Rory McCarthy. Going on his left-hand side, and Rory McCarthy, as usual, steps in to score. His first one this afternoon. Wind behind him, going away to the left this time. Oh, it's gone off the goal line, and Damien Fitzhenry gets away with it. It wasn't over the line. Down towards Joe Dempsey. One touch, just taking it away there from Declan Ruth. Inside towards John Troy. Troy getting it up into his hand. Not a good hand pass. Jerkosh had the chance to come in and make the clearance, but it wasn't a good clearance, and it's with Johnny Dooley, and that's gone over the bar. And Offaly make the best possible start of the second half. Paul from famed Rathnewer in Wexford. On his left-hand side, Brian Wheelahan got a touch to it, and that's a very good decision. It is indeed a 65. Well, it's a very sporting occasion here. Tense, you can be sure, but that's where Wheelahan just got the stick to it and directed it outside. Referee got it spot on. And the umpire, of course, as well, giving him 100% assistance. So Paul Codd driving this one between the posts. If at first she does succeed, keep on trying. And what a tight match it's turned out to be. This is Colm Cassidy once again, the taker of the sideline cut. Towards Michael Dignan, well caught. The hand pass, oh, he's gifted that one there to Larry O'Gorman. Larry is so sharp. The hand pass, or the flick there by Tom Dempsey, goes straight to Kevin Martin. Towards Michael Dignan, again he catches it well. Now how will they use possession here? Colm Keogh dragging him, and it's going to be a free in. And another opportunity for John Troy to try and turn the screw on the Wexford backs. John Troy to hit it, front of the goals, 30 metres out, no problems. 4 points for Troy. Glum faces on Hill 16 among the Wexford following. Fitzhenry poised. Breeze behind him. They wait down at the other end of the field. It's coming across this side. McCarthy against Kevin Martin. And it needs Johnny Pilkington or perhaps Martin Hannamy to come in and try and clear it away from the Wexford forwards. Missed by Larry O'Gorman. Colm Keogh perfectly positioned. Switching it to top of the left towards Paul Codd. Barry Wheelahan breaks it out. Colm Cassidy's there as well. Mitch Jordan trying to challenge him. Cassidy, one of the youngsters. Oh, that's a poor ball. He's gifted it away to Larry O'Gorman. Back to Michael Jordan. And it's gone over the bar. Mitch Jordan's first point. Now they're a great deal happier. And why not? The sides are level again. Old Square. Brian Wheelahan, 2 points from frees so far. Lobbing it in towards Gary Hanafy. Jerkush one-handed outside. It comes away towards Robert Hassey. Hassey just trying to control it, take it under total control and play it into the middle of the field. Batted back down by Brian Wheelahan. Johnny Pilkington waiting for it. Johnny Pilkington down towards Gary Hanafy. Jerkush beaten. Troy in there. The other backs coming to Jerkush's aid. Shawnee Flood. Dashing play. On he comes. Challenged. Gets by the challenge. Up towards Paul Codd. Taking his man way out from the corner back position. Outer on the half forward line. Flood comes forward. In towards Martin Storey. Brian Whelan putting in a challenge. Storey hitting it and hitting it over the bar. Martin Storey's got 4 points in the game. Again performing the heroics of 97. But this time in the championship of 98. And Wexford have stolen in front after some very good play along that left-hand side involving Shawnee Flood and a couple of others. But Martin Storey, the captain, takes major credit. It's Offaly who try to set up something for their scoring forwards. Johnny Dooley's coming through, and that's a great deal better. A 3rd point for Johnny Dooley. Pressure applied by the Offaly forwards. They need possession. This is outfield here. John Ryan, nicely in, great play. Wonderful defensive work by Colm Keogh. He did really well to deny Offaly. That's one of the best pieces of defence we've seen in this match so far. Again, it's Colm Keogh. What a lovely player this man is. Oh, and even as I say it, he makes a mistake. He's given it to Johnny Dooley. Back to John Troy. Troy's shot, and he's put it over the bar. 5 points by John Troy. 2 points between the teams. Great finish to the game. Colm Keogh trying to make amends. Here's John Ryan. Full back with the footballers, full forward with the hurlers. John Troy trying to contain it. Shawnee Flood trying to take it away from him. It's back with Johnny Dooley. And you know, you never have an Offaly team beaten. That's gone high, and that's gone over the bar by Paudie Mulhare. Michael Dignan's back there. Oh, he took it up well, Brian Wheelahan did. Forward by Hassey. Back once again. That's Paul Codd striking it over the bar. A wonderful display by Paul Codd. Brian Wheelahan has the 65. We're inside the last minute. He drops it in. They go for glory and get a goal here. They do! Offaly have come again. Johnny Dooley. What a shot here. Down it came, and it was forced in by Johnny Dooley. A goal and 3 points for Johnny. And Offaly have a 1-point lead, 115 to 17 points.
Those lads have given me everything, and the county board behind us, and particularly the Offaly supporters. So, like, we're there now, and I'm delighted for the lads. The skill that's in this Offaly team is unreal if we could just get it right, you know. It was a game I thought we had lost right up to the dying minutes, Kieran. I couldn't believe it, but I was disappointed with the lads played. I thought we trained better than that, and I thought we deserved, you know, like, Wexford never put us away, they never got the goal. And our backs, while they looked shaky in the first few minutes, they really tightened in there, you know, and I'm delighted for them now.
With Wexford beaten and Fairways beckoning, Babs Keating was seeing nothing but blue skies. Not a storm cloud anywhere.
It's great being involved in a county like Offaly at the moment. I certainly enjoy it, and great camaraderie and good bit of fun with the lads. I've known 2 different Offaly hurling teams. Like, in the years when I was a player myself, Offaly were the poor relations in hurling. And then, when Galway broke through in the early 80s, followed by Offaly, and a complete transformation of hurling spread around from the non-traditional areas, and certainly Offaly took over Leinster hurling in the 80s. But while a lot of people in counties like Tipperary and Kilkenny would have found it hard to accept that, I didn't, because I came from the same tradition down home where I came from, Jim. It was, no hurling at all before I emerged. So I had no great difficulty in accepting the emergence of Offaly and Galway and any other county along the way. And this is when I came to Leash and when I came to Offaly. I had no problem in identifying with the areas that needed to be looked at and maybe altered in some different ways. For a small county with a small population, and to have two counties up there in hurling and football over the years, I think they've got great credits, and the way they played in particular, and with the heart they played, I think got to the hearts of hurling people more than anything else.
Another man who got to the hearts of hurling people was DJ Carey. When he shocked the hurling world by announcing his retirement, there were many rumours that DJ might make a living as a golfer. His soul still belonged to the black and amber, though.
Hurling, as everybody knows, is my #1 priority. I play golf to enjoy it when I can play golf, but, hurling is the profession, as we say.
And certainly DJ looked quite comfortable in top-class company at the Irish Open Pro-Am.
Lovely company, Colin Montgomery, Ronan Keating, Ken Doherty, so I was in great company there, and we played reasonably well. We're back in the Leinster final. We haven't won one since 1993. Offaly are there as well. We both struggled we struggled in our last match, so did Offaly. There's room for improvement from both teams, and we're hoping that it can be us this time.
He's a brilliant golfer, I tell you. He was out driving Colin and some of the holes. He played really, really well.
What can I say? He's definitely not a 7 handicap, right? You're definitely not 7.
I don't know much about hurling. No, but I know more about it now with DJ. Great guy, good golfer, positive golf swing, confident lad, and best of luck to him.
Of all the opponents, I keep in constant contact with DJ because we're regular golfing partners as well. So I think he's relaxed despite all the controversy, and I think he's right. I think he overcome the controversy rather well, and. I would wish the best for DJ, but I'd like him to keep a good performance for another Sunday or two.
Ryan Whelan, Charlie Carter in pursuit. First to the ball again is Kilkenny, trying to put the pressure on the Offaly boys early in this match. Great block down, superb by Kevin Martin, cleared by Michael Dignan. Up towards Willie O'Connor and Darren Hannafy. Coming through is John Troy, he faces to Dermody. In County Offaly, John Troy. It was perfect. It was the first real test for the Kilkenny defence, and they failed miserably. Brian Whelan once more. Michael Dignan battling with Pete Barry. Comes towards Brian McAvoy. Barry Whelan underneath it. Two Kilkenny forwards chasing after him. Here's Kevin Keenan. Gets it inside to Charlie Carter. Offaly defence exposed. Charlie! The sides are level. Within the space of 24 seconds. What John Troy can do at one end. You ask who could finish here? Charlie Carter can. Johnny Pilkington. Oh, superb Pat O'Neill. The traditional full-back role, grabbing the ball in the air. There's more pressure going to bear on this Kilkenny defence. Johnny Dooley twists and turns and then sends a shot straight over the bar. His first point of this match and Offaly's second. DJ Carey flicking it on. Oh, lovely play by Johnny Dooley. Charlie Carter, Kevin Martin with him, and there's the equaliser. Once more, amazingly, Kilkenny equalise within the minute of an Offaly score. Here's John Troy. Here's another point for Offaly. Troy and Carter now have a goal and 2 points each. Kilkenny have it again. Johnny Dooley of Kilkenny. showing some nice touches. Again finds the target. They're level now for the 4th time. That DJ was fouled. Nicely flicked on meanwhile to John Troy, and that is over the bar. John Troy now has a goal and 3 points. That ball is sent in. Johnny Dooley under pressure. Billy Larkin following in the great footsteps of his dad Fan and his grandfather Paddy, and between them won 9 All-Irelands, as that ball is sent over the bar by Charlie Carter. A goal and 4 points for Charlie Carter, a goal and 4 points for John Troy, the 2 stars of this year's Leinster final. Break. Falls for Philly Larkin. Back up. Niall Maloney's hat is gone. Cleared by the Offaly defence. Comes back to DJ Carey. Has to come out around the midfield area to try and gather possession. And here goes DJ. The referee accuses DJ of taking too many steps with the ball. And the Kilkenny crowd in Croke Park make their feelings known. Let's look at this again as DJ Carey threw the ball down here, then had to gather it in his hand. Here he goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I think Dickie Murphy is correct. The verdict is unanimous. John Troy. Well, at least that decision has livened up the crowd here at Croke Park. Cleared down the field by Brian McAvoy. Down towards Andy Comerford. Chased, pursued by Brian Wheelhan. Comerford once again goes the scenic route to make an angle, but he knows exactly what he was doing. The passion of Kilkenny has been aroused. The sides are level for the 5th time. Nicely gathered by Darren Hannafy, a lovely slick pass to Joe Dooley. Waiting for this, Billy Dooley, a chance, and Joe Dermody, and the shot is saved on the line by the captain of Kilkenny. John Troy is again going to take the 65. Sides level, remember. Just over 13 minutes gone now in the second half. Troy scoops it almost over Joe Dermody's crossbar. And John Troy now leads the scoring stakes ahead of Charlie Carter by 1 point, 1-5 to 1-4. Another powwow along the sideline, another brief consultation. What can we do now to ensure that we beat Kevin Fennelly and the boys? This is the incident again that Joe Dermody will thank his captain for. Billy Dooley, Dermody did everything he could possibly do, and right on the line, great defending by the captain. Pat O'Neill didn't see that Andy Comerford there, number 17, had made a run out to the wing. Kevin Keenan is again the man in possession. Now he has to do something with it. He takes too many steps. Martin Hannamy knows that he did wrong, and that is a free for Kilkenny. It's DJ Carey that's going to take it. And there's always the possibility here that DJ will go for goal. And do you ever get the feeling that this is one of these moments? He's standing over it as if he's going for the goal. DJ blasts it into the back of the Offaly net. He may have been quiet. He may have been almost unnoticed. But there is never a game that the DJ Carey doesn't surface in terms of scoring or indeed style. So I just got the sense that DJ was going to go for it here, and he did. Kevin Martin. Kilkenny 2-6, Offaly 1-7. That's the scoreboard as we have 20 minutes, over 20 minutes gone now in this second half. A chance for Charlie Carter to shine once more. 1 goal and 5 points for the young Ireland star. referee has blown his whistle. In fact, he's going to give it from where the ball landed, which is perfectly correct. And it's DJ Carey that's coming up to take this one. DJ Carey's goal separating the sides at the moment. And this time, my guess is he'll put it over the bar, judging by the stance. And again he goes for the goal. And again, is it in? The umpire signals. Well, DJ Carey can only be described as a genius because, like me, I think the Offaly defence anticipated by his stance that he was going to take his point. 5 Offaly defenders. He went for it low. It crept in just centimetres over the end line, and that is a goal. Down towards John Troy, knocked away by the tenacious Willie O'Connor. Philly Larkin over towards DJ Carey. Now with 2 goals to his credit. Here comes DJ, nice floating ball, thank you very much. DJ is alive and well. And 2 goals and a point to his credit. Dooley. Kilkenny defence trying to marshal their lines. Here's Johnny Dooley meanwhile, going for the goal, hits it, saved. Wonderfully by the Kilkenny defence and out for a 65. But a very good tactical move by Kevin Fennelly, bringing off Niall Maloney just before Johnny Dooley took this shot. It was well saved along the line and deflected out for a 65. Comes down towards Andy Comerford, all alone inside, and here it comes, is Charlie. He knows Stephen Byrne is coming out to meet him. Here's the icing, and it's off the crossbar. Charlie Carter had the opportunity of the Leinster final. He wrapped it up against the crossbar. Pat O'Neill. It's behind you, lads. Volleyball here nips in. And that's going to be full-time whistle.
Manager Babs Keating made some remarks, as he would, as any manager would, in the dressing room, but unfortunately on Monday morning they appeared on one of the national papers, and it didn't go down well. And certainly by Tuesday, one of our players, Johnny Pilkington, added to it and had his version on a paper.
From Babs' point of view, we were a little bit upset. I think more so not what he said, it's just where it happened and outside the dressing room after a match. And you know, if he had said it in the dressing room, I don't think anybody would have had a problem with it. He made some very valid points. When Babs was here, he got on fine with the players, and I think that was just maybe the disappointment there.
I told him as I saw the situation, I felt that this thing was stacked against them, and I feared for what could happen. He still wanted to stay on. He's a determined guy. He's a decent guy, Babs. So at the conclusion of our conversation, he offered his resignation and I accepted it. Personally, I would always stand up for our players. Babs may have did it for the right intentions. He may not have meant to injure anybody or hurt anybody. But certainly, as an Offaly man, I don't like anybody giving out about our players.
The village of Dunloy is the heartbeat of Antrim hurling. The Catholic Church and the steeple are symbols as politically potent as any fluttering nationalist tricolour. Dunloy is a tiny nationalist enclave at the heart of Unionist territory, where annually the symbols of 2 Irish traditions clash. Marching Orangemen provide a ritual distraction to the hurling summer. Their presence is deeply resented and usually ends in hostile standoffs with the police. 2 tribes, 2 traditions. The big man is former Irish rugby international Davy Tweed. Hurling is a foreign game to him. The Dunloy Hurling Club is named after Cuchulainn, a mythical Irish hero. Hand in hand with hurling, the club strives to promote the Irish language and culture. On the field in Dunloy, nationalist schoolboys learn what for them is the only game in town. Away from this oasis, however, the troubles still rage. Unrest has disrupted Sean McGuinness's preparation of the Antrim team since the Ulster final.
Well, we played our final on the 5th of July, And from that, a week and 5 days, I never seen a player because of the civil disorder in the north here. The players weren't available. They couldn't travel at nights for their own safety. We had a couple of challenge matches lined up, and we had a number of training sessions. We had the whole scheme laid out. It was just tore up and threw in the air because that was the way of it. Just at that time, limb and life is more important than hurling.
It is a hard concession to make. Hurling binds this North Antrim community together as much as anything else. Families turn out even to watch the occasional training session that the team manages. Hurling is a community event. Generations are baptised into the game. Former star Terence McNaughton, nicknamed Sambo, has dealt with these difficulties in his recent autobiography.
Well, it's been impossible to get fellas together. You can't advertise where you're going to train for obvious reasons, and you don't want to bring fellas out to train on a certain pitch and they might not get home. And if you can understand if you go up to where the roads have been blocked, if they're blocked and you see hurling sticks in the back of the car, like, it wouldn't be safe to take anybody out. So it's just, we basically couldn't train at all. You have to be practical here. At the end of the day, we all are very passionate against, but people's safety has to come before everything. Like I wouldn't like to call a training session and then a carload of young fellas going home somewhere get stopped, or you don't know what would happen. Like I wouldn't have that in my conscience. Like, you have to get your priorities right here. At the end of the day, it's a game, and people's safety has to be the utmost.
When the Offaly County Board announced the identity of their new manager, the hurling world and even the Offaly team raised an eyebrow and asked who. His name was Bond, Michael Bond, a school principal and coach of the Galway under-21 team which won in All-Ireland in 1983. Despite his long sabbatical from the game, he emerged as a man at home in his surroundings and possessed of an infectious confidence.
I'm dealing with people all my life, dealing with hundreds of people every day of the week, and I get on with people, and I find it easy to motivate people. And the thing is that what I do in training and what I tell them to do, they do it, and the response is tremendous. And of course, the thing is that you had Podge and Pat here, and I'm just forming part of a very good management team. I'm not trying to achieve anything. I just want to achieve continuity. I want to get the players motivated. I want to get their confidence raised. I do emphasise on direct hurling, the Mojiric, and we have been emphasising a lot on ground hurling. And I think the spirit is very high and confidence is very high at the moment.
He's only had a couple of weeks. It normally would take him maybe a month even just to get to know the fellas, and he's just been thrown in and has to prepare us for an Ireland quarter-final. So it's very, very difficult for him. But he's called a good number of training sessions to help him with that, and he's done a very good and professional job so far. He's concentrated completely on ball work since he's taken over. He's done a lot of ground hurling, a lot of ball work, shooting practice, all that type of thing. But it's been very organised and well run.
What happened with Babs was unfortunate, really, and I suppose it doesn't help any situation, and hopefully we can put it behind us and look ahead, and we have a new man over us now, and we have to try and look forward, and hopefully things will work out for us,
And what about the suggestion that this squad is practically unmanageable, that it's they and not the manager who pick the team and call the shots?
I don't think players in any county call the shots, and certainly not been the case. I suppose with the comments that were made by one or two of the players after Babs' resignation, it maybe made things look like that, but that's not the case. Obviously, the management and selectors and county board run the show. The players get on and do the job like they do in any other county. Most of the lads aren't in agreement with the backdoor system. We've been getting a good bit of slagging from friends and foe, like did we have to go down to Tip to get the key, and this type of thing of course is carrying on. But I suppose in another way it's still the summer and it's nice to be hurling away, and we didn't play well in the Leinster final, and I suppose we have a lot to prove. So from that point of view it's still nice to be there.
Well gathered by John Ryan, gets room to swing, good save by Shane Elliott. Collins Deloy, custodian, does well. He's under pressure again as Joe Dooley drops this one in. Coming in a wonderful first-time pull. Over towards Paul McKillen. Down towards Ali Elliott. Rated up in Antrim as very skillful. action. Stephen Byrne, who has been rock solid and consistent, makes his first mistake here. When the ball glanced off the goalkeeper's hurley, it ended in the net. Gary Hannafy. He's done well since introduced. Don Troy gets inside Owen Colgan. There's a goal here for Offaly. Undoubtedly, here it is. Wonderful strike. Malachi Malloy. Paul McKillen. They're looking for a goal here. John Carson.
While Bond the movie opened in Offaly, video nasties circulated elsewhere. The unruly scenes from the Clare Waterford Munster final replay were closely scrutinised in the media and elsewhere.
The problem was the criticism was all on one side. Clare were the baddies. Clare were the blackguards. Clare were the thugs. Over-the-top comments and unbalanced comments like that were uncalled for. Both teams were responsible. Both managers, both sets of managerial setup were responsible for what happened in Thurles, and we do not mind criticism for that, provided that it's balanced. Going on the referee's report, both Colin Lynch and Tony Brown were booked for rough play. It looks like that the Munster Council are behaving in a way in which one person is only going to be penalised. If the natural rule of justice prevails, that a man is innocent until proven guilty, then Colin Lynch will be playing for Clare on Sunday. Two Waterford officials are on the referee's report. They're reported on the referee's report for incursions onto the field in the Munster final. Nothing has happened to those. I am not mentioned in the referee's report, yet action has been taken against me. Now, who are these people that are taking these actions? Is there a Gestapo-type police force operating within the GAA, keeping an eye on Gerald Loughnane so that if he crosses the line, he's going to be banned the next day? Is there somebody following a different agenda?
Despite the passion of Gerald Loughnane's views, the media and the wheels of the GAA justice ground on relentlessly. The entire cast reassembled here. The defendants, judge and jury, an inquisitive crowd, the forces of law and order, everyone except Colin Lynch.
As you can see, Colin Lynch is not with us coming here tonight. Unbeknown to most people, the Lynch family have had a lot of heartache over the last 2 weeks. On the day before the drawing match of the Munster final, Oliver Lynch's wife, who was Colin's uncle, sadly passed away after a long battle against a serious illness. And on last Monday, Colin's grandmother, whose pride and joy Colin was, sadly got a stroke. And unfortunately, just a few hours ago, she was taken off a life support machine. So you will understand that Colin cannot be here under those circumstances.
Feelings ran high as the meeting started. More reinforcements arrived to lend their support, as what was a straightforward hearing became a cause célèbre in the county of Clare.
What's this, television?
I'm here.
Waterford manager Gerald McCarthy, also appearing before the disciplinary committee, is forced to run a gauntlet of Clare supporters when he arrives. That loyalty carried no weight inside the meeting room in the bowels of the hotel. The committee resumed its deliberations on the morning before the semi-final. In the end, the sentences broke down as follows. Colin Lynch received a 3-month suspension for his part in the row with Tony Brown of Waterford, and Gerald Loughnane received a 1-match touchline ban, meaning he was forced to watch the semi-final from a seat in the stand, depriving the team of his energetic presence.
P.G. O'Connell's first point, delighting these Clare fans. Michael Bond was quoted during the week as saying that this would be a low-scoring semi-final, and that's pretty much as it's turned out so far. Ollie Baker was injured a little while ago. Here he is trying to pressurise Darren Hannafy. That's Joe Dooley. That's another one. And it's back with Markham. Cross towards David Ford. First touch to take it down into his hands. Laying it off there towards Gilligan, trying to race his way through. And what is it? Is it a penalty? The referee's gone in. 3 on the goal line. Brian Whelan on the left. Martin Hannamy on the right. And the goalkeeper Stephen Byrne in the centre. About to face them is the opposite goalkeeper, David Fitzgerald, Clare's penalty taker. Offaly lead by 2 points. David Fitzgerald strikes, saved brilliantly by Whelan, again by Conor Clancy. They're all in after it. Keenan has it. Anthony Daly trying to come in here, trying to get that ball away. Look at the pressure that's being exerted on him. Brian Whelan, lovely, composed style. And there's a loose man inside, and it's Johnny Dooley. A wonderful save by David Fitzgerald. It might well have been buried into the back of the Clare net. One Whelan leaving it for another. It's Brian who gets it away. Not so far this time. Ollie Baker picks it up magnificently in midfield. The shot by Baker is high, and it's gone over the bar. And it's the equaliser. And the sides are level for the 5th time in what's turning out to be a tremendous semi-final. Offaly back, pressurising the Clare backs again. McMahon up nicely to Gilligan. Angling this one in towards Alan Markham, runs on here beautifully. Tui's in, and it's a goal! Fergie Tui! Is that to be the decisive moment in this game? With 23 minutes gone in the second half, it came in for Gilligan, bad defending, but Tui was in to slip it back. Stephen Byrne. Whelan there losing the helmet. Not losing his way, but he's under pressure from Alan Markham. This to the goal scorer, Fergie Tui, and he's put it over the bar. That's a goal and 2 points. And I think Fergie Tui laying down a marker. If Clare get to the final, he wants very serious consideration this time. Free for Offaly, and Johnny Dooley's about to take it. That's gone in. Where will it end up? It's a goal! Once again, Johnny Pilkington has scored against Clare in a major match. It was Dooley who took the free, a low enough trajectory, batted out by Davy Fitzgerald, and Pilkington said, take that. Johnny Dooley, a point so far, but he's made that goal, and now he can add on the equaliser if he puts it over, and he does. And what a finish we should have now with 6 minutes to go. That's touched out again by Martin Hannamy. Out by Mulhare, on towards Johnny Pilkington, the man who got the goal. Here comes Pilkington, 20 metres out, he's put it over the bar. The All-Ireland champions in real peril of surrendering their title at the semi-final stage. Offaly had shown us no form whatsoever this year, and that time there's a chop. The referee goes to Kevin Keenan and says, you're the guilty party, and that's a free in for Clare. They may be saved yet. And all this while, Ger Loughnane can only sit there alongside Colin Lynch and Brian Lohan. Jamie has got 5 out of 7 frees so far. This the most crucial. This to make it level. He's done it. It ends in a draw. Clare 113, Offaly 113. Jamesy O'Connor dashing around the place. Good ball downfield, angling that one in there beautifully. Barry Murphy takes it up first time. Here's a chance. Great stop. Good stay by Stephen Byrne. Liam Doyle has it. Driven in towards Barry Murphy. Beyond him. Oh, it's a great goal! Alan Markham. 1-5 to 2 points. Johnny Dooley trying to pressurise forward there. It's his brother Joe. Teeing one up here. Here comes Joerity. Dragged down. Is that a penalty? Referee says play on. They're still trying to force their way in the end, they get a free from the 20-metre line, and it is a penalty. Jimmy Cooney has awarded a penalty to Offaly. Joe Dooley is coming to take it. It's one that Offaly need. They haven't scored since the first 5 or 6 minutes. Here comes Dooley, and it's stopped on the line. They scramble in after it, and that's surely going to be a free out. Darren Hannafy. Anthony Daly, 65 metres out from his own goal. Where does it end up? It ends up going over the bar. What a lift that will give everybody on the Clare team. The captain from Clare Castle, Dalo himself, as they call him, getting his first point of the afternoon. Michael Dignan's gone back. He seems to be playing at left half back for the second half. David Ford trying to chip it back to somebody coming through from the centre. Ollie Baker was one of those. Dignan's after him. Ollie shortens the grip on the stick and scores a fine point. This is a fantastic performance by the All-Ireland champions. Johnny Pilkington now playing in among the forwards. Sean McMahon, tremendous clearance, broken down again towards Fergie Toohey. Michael Dignan operating in this second half of the half-back line, and the referee is in quickly, seeing the foul blow. This is what happened. They were putting pressure on him there, David Ford, and he was caught and retaliated. Michael Dignan then having the lecture and the name taken. Well, the last thing that Offaly would want would be to lose a man at this stage in the second half. The booing is from the Clare fans. Here's Simon Wheelahan hitting it down. Clare have superior fitness, it seems, but they may well need it if Offaly can apply good pressure. Wheelahan again up there in the forwards. Here's a goal chance, John Troy. Out they come. And the shot has gone in. And Billy Dooley has got it. And 16 minutes into the second half, Billy Dooley has put just 5 between them. Clare with a 7-point lead. Michael Dignan right through the centre of that defence. Doherty, here's a chance again for Offaly. He's taken down and it's a penalty. It's a second penalty for Offaly. The first one was saved. This time to take it, it's going to be the man who was dragged down, Joe Erity from Burr. Referee trying to make sure everybody's outside the exclusion zone. He drives it and he scores! 22 minutes into the second half. Michael Dignan waiting for Hubert Rigney to come on to him. Look at the pressure again applied by David Ford in this particular instance. That's a great block down. Alan Markham sailing forward. Markham for Clare, another point. What a terrific performance by this youngster. A goal and 3 points, and it's 116-2-8. Ollie Baker may have been that somebody else. Gary Hannafy whipping on it on the ground there. That's a beautiful pick up there by Brian Wheelahan. The referee saw the earlier foul, however, for wonderful composure by Wheelahan. Podge Mulher, one of the selectors, along with Pat McLaughlin, of course, and Michael Bond, the manager. Switched into the forwards to take this free and try and cut it down to a 3-point difference once more. He's going for it. He's got it. Brian Wheelahan's point coming with about 3 minutes to go. And it's 116-210. Not too far. Keenan trying to get it out. Barry Murphy trying to get it back in. This is the man. And the referee has blown up his whistle, but I think he's blown up before time. I think there are 2 minutes left. Colin Flynn. Clare have won it by 3 points. But on my watch here, there are another 2 minutes to go. Now I wonder, are they discussing that? Well, that is a strange finish.
With angry Offaly supporters occupying the pitch in a sit-down protest after the match, the under-21 hurlers of Kerry killed time as they awaited the scheduled start of their match with Kildare. Protesters were unmoved. All sides were agreed that an error had been made.
Oh, definitely, there was only 3 minutes gone in the second half, so Jimmy obviously made a mistake, but I suppose the referee's decision is final, but we have to, all of us have to admit that a mistake has been made by the referee.
Jimmy Cooney, referee blew the whistle for full time. I knew there was something wrong because just before that, Aidan McSweven was after telling me there was 4 minutes left, and the ball was only poked out and threw in, and that was the end of it, you know. We definitely knew there was injury time on top of normal time to go.
I was carrying a stopwatch and there was well over 2 minutes left, and I figured there was at least 2.5, 3 minutes injury time. I think Jimmy made a genuine mistake, and I think afterwards he admitted that, but he was just whisked away. We have at least 5 minutes to play here, and I think that if something isn't done about it, it's a terrible, terrible injustice.
His two linesmen went to him and told him that it wasn't time up. And he said, what can I do about it? That is an absolute disgrace. And I can tell the people of Offaly that we are not going to let this die. This very evening when I'm finished here, I'm going to look for a meeting. Gerald Loughnane came into our dressing room and he said, there was a genuine mistake. He said there should have been at least 3 to 4 minutes extra played. And that was a statement by Gerald Loughnane, and he knows, as we know, that the game wasn't played to its full length.
I think it's apparent to everybody that was at the game or anybody who was watching it on television that the game ended prematurely. There was perhaps, can be argued how many minutes, but certainly there were a few minutes perhaps that should have been played. And on that basis, we have met, and the Games Administration Committee will, as a matter of urgency, meet next Monday, and after that to consider the implications of the game ending early, and to consider any other implications related to the game, and a statement will be issued after that meeting on Monday.
Ladies and gentlemen of Offaly, we are going to fight this case tooth and nail.
With unhappy Offaly supporters remaining on the pitch, Brendan Ward, county chairman, offers the faithful some fighting words and the encouragement to move on. As they left, there was still some unfinished business to consider in the wake of the GAA's first demonstration of people power. The association consented to consider the case. Within 24 hours, the GAA's Games Administration Committee had convened and a statement was issued to the media. Under the auspices of the association's rules, the game was deemed to have been ended prematurely. There was no option but to order a restaging of the game 7 days later. As the Clare team packed their bags and prepared to leave Dublin, their manager, Gerald Loughnane, gave his reaction to news of the decision.
After the game yesterday, we all thought we were in the All-Ireland final, even though we recognised straight away that Jimmy had made a mistake, a human error that anybody could make. But when we talked about it later on last night, I think the best comment was made by the Clare captain, Anthony Daly, at about 12:30 last night, when I said to him, "Hey, take it easy on that drink." I said, "There's going to be a replay next Saturday." And he said, "Good." He said, "If we had to win anything," he said, "we should win it on merit."
That's a great catch by Brian Wheelahan. Left-handed and then right-handed away towards Paddy Mulhare. He's playing at left half forward on Liam Doyle. A man who looked much more like himself in the second game in what we assume is going to be a three-part series. John Redden. Oh, that's gone straight to Kevin Martin. Now Johnny Dooley. Dooley has been marked here by Frank Lohan. It's Billy Dooley, in fact. Two Dooleys operating in and around the half-forward line. This is the catch just a moment ago here by the man who's now about to step up and take the free. Brian Wheelahan, unusually less than effective at half-back last time around. But in the first game, remember all those long-range frees? This is from just inside the 65-metre line, and it's perfectly positioned and goes straight over the bar. Frank Lohan and Sean McMahon go back there to help. It's McMahon who gets it out to Brian Lohan. Huge cheer from the banner following. Up beautifully there. Here's a scoring chance, and there's the equaliser, and Alan Markin has put it over the bar. Man of the match 7 days ago. Offaly made the better start of this match, led by 4 points. Then Clare got ahead 5 points to 4. There's a late pull there, and it's going to be a free from where the ball lands. Baker coming across, and he chopped down onto the hand, in fact, of Brian Wheelahan. And Brian Wheelahan has come across to hit this one. Can the man who was fouled complete this movement with a score? The answer is a very definite yes. 2 points from 2 frees by Brian Wheelahan, and he's opened up a 3-point gap. Gary Hannafy going up to take that one. Johnny Dooley hoping the ball would bounce up nicely for him. Had to get it the second time, putting in the shot again, and that's another fantastic shot. Johnny Dooley puts it over the bar, and the gap widens even more. Defiant Offaly fans. Wheelahan about to take it. Great ball. Well taken again by Sean McMahon, another player to discard the black helmet. David Ford still wearing his. Angling this one across towards Niall Gilligan, making the catch. That's important. Getting away from Hanamy, and it's over the bar. Clare striking another bit of good form. Baker, a point to his credit so far. This is a great ball in, deep one, beautifully caught, and it's a great save! Alan Markham made the shot, and Byrne has made the save. Best save of the game so far. Most exciting goal chance from Ollie Baker, right in there to the danger area. Coming across was Alan Markham. What about that for a fantastic save? It's Markham who gets there first. The man who was denied a goal just seconds ago. Inside towards Gilligan, breaking it down towards Scanlon. They've got a man over. A great save again by Stephen Byrne. Two fantastic saves. Markham on the follow-up. What a hero Offaly have got this afternoon in their goalkeeper, Stephen Byrne, rated one of the best young goalkeepers of the year. Brian Quinn, miss-hit, hooked. Gary Hanafy advancing, playing it inside here. John Ryan's coming in, denied space again. Good play by the Clare backs, but that should have been for John Ryan from Belmont. Brian Whelan again breaking it, this time to Johnny Pilkington. Gary Hanafy going across, looking weary. The Clare team have given it everything, but they're also looking terribly, terribly tired as Gary Hanafy hits over his third point. And with 5 minutes to go, the betting has to be on. A Kilkenny versus Offaly rematch. Jamesy O'Connor, he'll want to take it quickly. On my watch, about 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. 5 points now for Jamesy. So now there is just a goal between the teams. Low ball this time. Down towards Markham. Takes it up. There's still time for Clare. Alan Markham still going forward. Markham trying to get inside into that large rectangle. Here's the chance. It's stopped again. Fantastic save by Stephen Byrne from Fergal Haggerty. That was amazing. And this is an amazing goalkeeper. The shot there falling in the end to Fergal Haggerty. 3 wonderful goal chances. And that stopped brilliantly.
It was a very, very tight, close game. I didn't enjoy 1 minute of it. I was told it was a classic game. I'm delighted to have won.
You're always disappointed when you lose, you know, but as I said in the Offaly dressing room, I suppose if we had to choose any team to lose to, it would be Offaly, because Offaly were the team that gave the inspiration to all of the Clares and the Wexfords and everybody else that made the breakthrough. You know, they were one of the first teams that really broke the stranglehold of the big three.
He has developed into the superstar of the Kilkenny team since graduating to it in 1989. That aside, he is a family man living close to his roots. He enjoys the countryside and spending time with his son Sean. DJ runs a successful business which makes demands on his time. Those commitments led to his decision to retire in March 1998, but public pressure led DJ to return to the fold.
I'm delighted to be back. I mean, you know, as hurling is my first love, and the biggest honour we can win in the game is an All-Ireland title with your county. I'm delighted we're one step away from that now. Offaly are in the way, an excellent team who have had a topsy-turvy year as well, but they're really coming good at the right time, and that's our big fear. But for me, yes, it's the right decision now. It's the game I love. It's the place you really want to play, and you know, it's the day you really want to play. I didn't realise the reaction there would be. I wanted to get out at a time, tried to get out, couldn't really, and you know, there was fierce public pressure there to come back. I've come back, so I won't be going out. I might wait for another few years and let the legs get a bit older and slower, and then get out maybe a little bit easier.
The enjoyment of the game is one aspect, but when you have a family to support, the risks involved have to be in question. DJ came to realise this through watching the fate of his brother.
Jack was part of the Kilkenny panel, was fighting for his place on the team. Unfortunate to do his cruciate knee. And he's out of action, he's out of work for 9 months. He's out of hurling for the best part of a year at least. And, you know, he has no income, he has no insurance, no nothing. And, you know, I have to say to myself, well, You know, if I get that bang and run my own business, I have my own house, you know, how am I going to be looked after if I get an injury, or anyone in my position? Who looks after us when that happens? Because people don't realise it's an amateur game, and if you get an injury, you look after yourself. There's no one there to look after you.
On the other side of the fence was Offaly selector Podge Mulhare. Podge has known the best and the worst times during his long-term relationship with Offaly hurling over the years.
I've been a selector since '78, but I was playing with them in the bad times from '64 to '77, so I have been there in both good and bad. The present team, at the start of the year, I suppose not too many people would give them a chance not even to win the Leinster final, or even be in the Leinster final, but we didn't win the Leinster final, and we're now in an All-Ireland final. Like, we always respect Kilkenny, and it was always easier to beat Kilkenny in a first round of a Leinster Championship or a second round than in a Leinster final. It's unusual that we're now meeting them in an All-Ireland final, and in my honest opinion, they have the best potential forward line in the country. I honestly don't think that they have played to their true potential up to now, and I'm terrified of Kilkenny in an All-Ireland final, let's be honest with you.
For Pat McLaughlin, it's his team selection which is on his mind in these final days.
When I go around the fields during the summer there, I didn't think we'd be in an All-Ireland. We were hurling poorly, I suppose, in June and July, and everything has changed now in the last month, and we're in an All-Ireland final, and I suppose it's a big thing in Offaly.
And when he goes out on the farm, is it all hurling in his mind?
Oh yes, that's when you be counting the sheep and cattle, you're still thinking about hurling. That's the first thing and the last thing is on your mind from when you get up in the morning till you go to bed at night. Hurling is all that matters around here.
Hi, I'm Aaron Whelan. Brian's my dad, and Barry and Simon are my uncles, and Offaly are going to win the All-Ireland.
And what a wonderful year for the Whelan household with 3 brothers now in the squad. Has that brought extra responsibility on Brian?
We've been hurling together for quite a while at club level, and you know, the boys are very young, you know, they're 20 and 21 years of age, and it's a whole new scene for them. So when they did join the panel, I was sort of mindful of them and very nervous of them, but I think they've both proved over the whole year that they are quite capable of looking after themselves. We're after having 3 very hard games against, you know, which was rated the best team in the country throughout the year, and you know, the lads are tired, you know, make no mistake about that. If we got an extra week where we could maybe have rested for a week and train hard for the second week and ease off again, that would have been the ideal situation, but we're not. And you know, at the end of the day, we're in an All-Ireland final, and you know, we just have to make do with the way things are going, and hopefully things will go well on the day for us.
As excitement builds around the towns of Offaly, even the players are recruited for the preparations. Flags, hats, scarves and photos are all displayed in shop windows as Offaly reach the end of their long road back to McCarthy Cup glory.
Johnny Dooley has gone into midfield as I anticipated. Michael Dagnan's gone to right half forward as the match gets underway, and Joe Erity's gone into full forward straight away, sending in that ball towards Joe Dooley. Joe here challenging the team captain for Kilkenny. They've tried to make some headway, they've got a great chance. Joe Dermody was out quickly, Billy Dooley was in there, and the referee says hang on, that's going to be a free out. And already you can see just how soft the ground conditions are down there in front of Joe Dermody's goal. Joe playing in his 6th championship match, sending it way down. Martin Hannamy comes out here. 2 very able defences on view this afternoon. Philly Larkin in midfield, sending it down towards Charlie Carter. Will it be Charlie's day? PJ Delaney trying to get onto it here. First chance then for PJ Delaney, leaving it right in there. DJ Kerry's trying to take it up onto his stick. Out it comes, and it's Brian Whelan who gets it clear. Back again by Canis Brennan. What an atmosphere, what a start. Peter Barry driving it back in there. Kevin Keenahan's under it. PJ Delaney trying to get his stick to it. Andy Comerford, and the referee, calm as you like, is in there to see a chop, and it's going to be a free in. Having a word there with the Offaly captain, Hubert Rigney from St. Rynagh's. DJ Kerry, first chance of a score. He's outside the 20-metre line. Will he roll it over the bar? Yes, he will. So DJ Carey gets his first point of the match, Kilkenny's first chance. Stephen Byrne with the puck out. Towards Gary Hanafy's corner. Breaks loose, however. Peter Barry trying to link up there with Tom Hickey. Erity firing it back there towards Johnny Dooley, looking for the equaliser, but he's put it to the left. With Brendan Ward there in the centre, the Offaly chairman, urging on the side alongside Podge Mulhare. John Troy's on the 40, Gary Hanafy's left half forward, and then the full forward line, Billy Dooley's on the right, Joe Dooley's on the left, and in between them it's Joe Erity. That's Simon Wheelahan, down on his hands and knees, the referee preparing to throw the ball in. Andy Comerford and Hubert Wrigley going to be the two contesting for this one. Here comes McAvoy. Chance of another score, and he's put it over the bar. Brian McAvoy's first point, Kilkenny's second. They've made the better start. Pat O'Neill, a fullback, comes across. Can't prevent it going out over the sideline. He's a big, tough customer, Pat O'Neill. Won, of course, one of the man of the match in the 1992 final. Might well have won it in 1993 as well. So with almost 6.5 minutes gone, a chance for Pilkington to cut it. Inside it goes there. Joe Erity was whipping on it. Out it comes again. This time Michael Dignan, quick change of direction, and it ends up going over the bar. So Offaly finally get off the mark. Hubert Rigney beaten for this one by Andy Comerford. Comes out to Kevin Martin, great wrist work. Out to John Troy. They need a big game from Troy, just as Kilkenny need a big game from DJ Carey. Joe Dooley. The match in the last game, and he sends this one over the bar. That'll do his confidence an awful lot of good. Andy Comerford down there in the centre, hoping to try and really solve that problem for Kilkenny on the 40. Comes back into the face of the Kilkenny backs again. Michael Kavanagh. Johnny Pilkington getting onto it. Nice hand pass back to Brian Wheelahan. Wheelahan, a good low ball inside to Joe Erity. Good play. Erity turning, and that's a fine score. Joe Erity from Burr, the point scorer. But it was the quality of the pass that made it all possible. Hubert Rigney, sun in his eyes at this stage, and the rest of the Offaly backs. Charlie Carter coming in here. It's there! What a start by Charlie Carter. It was a wonderful finish by Charlie Carter. A man who got 1-5, of course, in the Leinster final. Not a good ball in, but it might come good yet. Charlie Carter hand passing it back out, scoop back out again to Andy Comerford, and that's over. Andy Comerford gets his first point of this final to really boost his confidence. Blocked down, comes to Peter Barry, sending it back towards Carter once again, who's drifted across to the right-hand side, now without the hurley, beaten. Well, I thought he was going to be beaten, but he got there through sheer determination. Now Kenny O'Shea, sending it across dangerously. Oh, it stopped on the goal line. Brian Wheelahan making the clearance. That was very nearly goal number 2 for Kilkenny. Ripped away there by Johnny Dooley. Kilkenny having the edge at midfield. Andy Comerford across here towards Brian McAvoy once again. Again the Cats come ready. That's a wonderful stroke away that time by Johnny Pilkington. Comes out to Brian McAvoy, sending it in high and sending it over the bar. A second point for Brian McAvoy, doing well against Brian Wheelahan, and Kilkenny lead 1-4 to 3 points. Hubert Rigney picking it up, doing well, anchoring the Offaly half-back line. Johnny Pilkington firing it away and again, and there's hesitation, and that's supposed to picked off the ground. The referee appealing for it inside there. It it perhaps could be a 20-metre free in. They're racing in quickly. And the umpire will certainly have a view on that, I think. Dickie Murphy then signalling, I think, that it's going to be a free in. Now it should be an ordinary 20-metre free in because the goalkeeper picked the ball off the ground inside that little rectangle. The result of that is an ordinary 20-metre free. That's the rule. Here's John Troy, and he's content to put it over the bar. So 3 between them. A game which, in spite of that goal by Charlie Carter, has really yet to fire into life. Johnny Dooley, can he inspire the midfield? Nice ball down along towards Joe Dooley. Again the ball bouncing unkindly. Pat O'Neill gets it away as far as Brian McAvoy is settling down to play a good match. Dispossessed this time by Brian Wheelahan. Back to the new man at right half back. Michael Duignan fouled as he was kicking the ball away. And we've seen so many players today resort to kicking it away rather than hurl it away. Brian Wheelahan, in spite of going into the forwards, has come back to try and hit this free. It's on his own 65-metre line. It's a huge one, and it lands over the bar. A very valuable free converted there by Brian Wheelahan. His first point of the day. Andy Comerford trying to beat Michael Duignan. Johnny Pilkington coming in here. Good sidestep, nice hand pass away. Brian Wheelahan blocked down brilliantly there by Liam Keown. Michael Duignan again. Dispossessed by Brian McAvoy, has looked lively from the very start of this match. Philly Larkin having quite a battle with Johnny Pilkington. Here's Canis Brennan. Delivering it down towards Andy Comerford again. Michael Duignan once more. Trying to keep Brian McAvoy as quiet as possible. Kevin Keenahan from the Sir Kieran's Club in Clarine in Offaly. Of course, the colours they wear are the black and amber as well. Nice hand pass by Wheelahan for Troy. John Troy's shot is over the bar, and there's only a point between the teams. A second point by John Troy. Nicely picked up here again by McAvoy, who's a constant thorn. Hubert Rigney delivering it back there towards Billy Dooley against Willie O'Connor. The breaking ball here, and again that tower of strength, Pat O'Neill, comes forward, beating Brian Wheelahan to it, out as far as Keown. Pat O'Neill is playing a very good, simple, effective game. At the other end, the other fullback, Kevin Keenahan, put under pressure by PJ Delaney. Charlie Carter is there as well. It comes back towards McAvoy. Ready to take on the Offaly defence. Looking for another one to open up a gap once more. And Brian McAvoy has now got 3 points in this match. Andy Comerford putting the head down, trying to go through. Nice ball outside. Here's a chance. Kenny O'Shea, stop there. Nicely put out. Out it comes towards Michael Duignan. Well, that was a very close call just seconds ago down at the other end. Down towards Kenny O'Shea, going low to try and take that one away was Johnny Pilkington, helped by Hannamy. Offaly get it back. The forwards needing a better service in there. Joe Dooley trying to make something of it. Brian Wheelahan coming onto it. This is a scoring chance for Wheelahan, and he puts it over the bar. That's a second point now for Brian Wheelahan, the first from a huge free from distance, and this one from play, making it 1-5 to 7 points. That's Paddy Mulhare getting that ball forward towards the two-man full forward line. Joe Dooley and John Troy. Dooley going for the score. Lovely turn. And that's the equaliser. Level for the second time. Joe Dooley produces it again. A second point in this All-Ireland final, and it's 1-5 for Kilkenny. 8 points for Offaly. Dermody's puck out. A big one. Down into the half-back line. Rigney taking it. Oh, DJ Carey did really well to get that ball away. Can they now turn it into a score? Here's McAvoy. Good ball outside to Kenny O'Shea. Firing, and he puts it over the bar. Kenny O'Shea's first point. And a quick counter-attack then by Offaly towards Joe Erity. Brian Wheelahan coming to try and take it away from Willie O'Connor. Liam Keown's there to help the other defender, Keown. nicely down. Again, there's no marking of Brian McAvoy. Dignan standing back, now trying to challenge. Hubert Rigney next in with the challenges, and the referee says, hang on, that's a foul. And it's a free in for Kilkenny. Great work being done by Brian McAvoy in this first half. DJ Carey calling for a replacement stick. So close to half-time now. DJ taking maximum care over this. There's some jeering up on the hill among the Offaly fans, trying to put him off his strike. But they certainly haven't put him off his stride, and he puts it over the bar. They're all happy in there among the Kilkenny following because they've got a 2-point lead. Troy going short this time, inside towards Brian Wheelahan. Now it's full forward, and that's over the bar. It might well transform Offaly yet. So, just a point between the teams. Dermody hits it right through the centre towards PJ Delaney. It runs on beyond him. Charlie Carter has it, shortens the grip on the stick, and he puts it over the bar. A goal and a point now by Charlie. Kilkenny's first point of the second half. And the flags on the far side right now would seem to indicate that the breeze has changed direction yet again, and it's now blowing down towards the canal end. In other words, it's favouring Kilkenny, and Canis Brennan here knew he was going to be hooked. This time he was blocked down by Johnny Dooley. Peter Barry trying to make some inroads. Billy Dooley there as well had a goal chance right at the start of the match. Kevin Keenan's come out trying to make amends for that goal that Charlie Carter got. Out to Johnny Pilkington. Pilkington racing through, stopped by Willie O'Connor, but the referee says foul blow, however, and it's going to be a free for Offaly. A fair bit of dash and courage shown by Johnny Pilkington, but he was fouled by Willie O'Connor. This is how it all happened. Referee says dangerous play, and that's going to be a free in. Free taken by Brian Wheelahan and duly put over the bar. 4 points now by Brian Wheelahan. Hubert Rigney moving back to try and take it, flicked away from him by DJ Carey, doing a lot of very good work that's pretty well going unnoticed. This time he's the provider to Charlie Carter. Nice turn inside, trying to get it back towards DJ, catches it well, trying to take it out of the defence. Hubert Rigney's there, so too is Johnny Pilkington. It comes out to Andy Comerford, blocked down by Kevin Martin. Back to Comerford once again, very awkward, and a second great block down by Kevin Martin. Now it's Charlie Carter. Simon Whelan with another block, 3 in a row from 2 Offaly backs, really fired up, trying to play the game of their life. This was a wonderful spell of play. Kevin Martin first doing the blocking, and this time it's Simon Whelan. Tremendous noise, great excitement as well. Canis Brennan, again blocked down by John Troy, comes to Joe Dooley, blocked again by Canis Brennan. Well, the blocking in the early phase of the second half by players on both sides has been exemplary. Some Mulher to hit it. Goes all the way in towards Brian Wheeler, had been marked by Tom Hickey. And he's gone down injured. And it's going to be a free in for Offaly. And a chance of the equaliser. John Troy to hit this, should be the equaliser, and he's put it over. A third point by John Troy, and the sides are level in this All-Ireland final for the third time. It's Kilkenny 1-8, Offaly 11 points. And that breeze right now does seem to be favouring Offaly, but it swirls and it changes direction so many times, it's very deceptive. Kevin Martin out towards Johnny Dooley. Johnny trying to press forward there. Johnny Pilkington alongside him. PJ Delaney, and he's gone down. And the referee says there's a foul by Kevin Martin, who argues that he was using his shoulder fairly. And PJ Delaney, who earned that free. The distance from the goal is about 48 metres. DJ's got 2 so far out of 3 frees. They look at it, and he's put it over. So a third point by DJ Carey, and Kilkenny have a 1-point lead. And look at that for wonderful colour and wonderful excitement on one of the sporting days of the year. Stephen Burns puck out. Keown can't get under the ball. It's a fabulous catch by Liam Keown. Joe Dooley was in there trying to make life awkward for him. It comes out to Johnny Pilkington. Inside towards Brian Wheelahan, happily recovered from injury. Pat O'Neill is the man he was trying to take on, and the referee is whistling again. Wheelahan gets his free. And again, this should be the equaliser. Well, said to have come into the match with a bout of flu, already damaging a right ankle. Michael Bond looking on. Wheelahan strikes it, and strikes it inch perfect. 5 points now by Brian Wheelahan, and they're level once again, now for the 4th time. Towards Brian McAvoy's wing because of his good performance in the first half. You can be sure they'll try and favour him time and again. Kenny O'Shea, who switched wings, crossover there towards Charlie Carter. Good defending by Simon Wheelahan, and eventually they forced that ball away. Peter Barry trying to keep it away from Paddy Mulhare. Johnny Dooley is in there to offer assistance, and at the end of the pile-up it's going to be a throw ball between two players. Dickie Murphy forced into that particular course of action for about the 3rd or 4th time. Pitch is incredibly soft. You see that divot there as Andy Comerford comes forward, beating a couple of Offaly men for pace, kicking it in the end, and he's kicked it to the left and he's kicked it wide. He had a real chance. Pressure applied once again here. Joe Erity this time. Erity going in like a train, but a steamroll his way through, and he scored! It's a goal for Offaly. Into the second half, Offaly go in front. Well, he has a fabulous record of scoring goals in the championship. He's only ever scored 1 point, that was 2 weeks ago, but this now is the 6th goal that Joe Erity has scored in championship hurling, and what a vital one it is. This is another look from behind the Offaly, or behind the Kilkenny goal of the Offaly move by Joe Erity, coming in powerfully so, and a wonderful shot. That was from a pencil camera back behind the goal. This is Joe Erity in full flight once again, confidence high, and he's scored another one over the bar. Every challenge is entered into as if their very lives depend upon winning this particular tie. Most important match of the year for all of them. Kenny O'Shea here taking his chance. Martin Hannemy's after him. He hits it, and he hits it well. That's 2 points now in this match for Ken O'Shea. A nice gesture there as the manager of one team offers water to a player on the other. It's part of the spirit in which this match has been played. Annie Comerford just got a touch on that one. Coming in on it here is McAvoy, looking for another score. Nice ball inside, and what's the referee going to do here, because there's a player upended. PJ Delaney, the player in question, and so Martin Hannamy becomes the first player to have his name taken in the 1998 All-Ireland hurling final, and it's a penalty. It had to be. Kilkenny trail by 3 points. Will this be the equaliser by DJ Carey? He's put it over the bar. Well, this is interesting. He put it over the bar. I have an idea he probably almost certainly went for a goal. Right in there it goes. Brian Wheelahan, lovely dancing movement from him, and he gets it over the bar. A wonderful half-back, within his best form, now proving himself to be a very accurate and astute forward with his 6th point of the day. Delight for Offaly fans. He's had 6 chances to score, you know, in this match, and he's got 6 points. Johnny Pilkington firing it in. It's gone over the bar. 2 in a row. Offaly with a couple of good scores in the last few seconds. This is nicely taken down by Philly Larkin. Now it's Kilkenny's turn to attack. They need a score badly. And Philly Larkin provides his first point of the day. So 3 points the margin, 115 to 112. A look of agony in his face, and Billy Dooley really feeling the pain of all of this. And you can see that he's damaged the knee. A highly pressurised occasion. Once again, McAvoy advancing. PJ Delaney trying to get it through. Delaney hits it, it's stopped. The referee has whistled. It's in the net, it's not going to count. Concern everywhere. DJ Carey stepping up to take this one. And you know what that can mean many, many times. It means a score this time. It's a point. The man who also got a point from the penalty. I'm almost certain he went for a goal, but 2 points between the teams. Both teams try to turn it their way. John Troy, nicely on towards John Ryan. Nicely in here towards Erity, the man who got the goal earlier on. Coming forward again, missing it this time, and it's a goal! Brian Whelan has done it! Brian Whelan has made it 2:15 to 1:13 with 2 minutes to go. It was Joe Erity who was steaming forward again, taking on Peter Barry, missing his shot. It came to Whelan and he buried it past Joe Dermody. Michael Dignan coming out here. That switch worked well. Dignan tearing through the heart of the Kilkenny defence on his left-hand side, and he puts it over the bar. The arms in triumph. Surely now it's Offaly. Dignan's second point. Offaly, who won the All-Ireland for the first time ever in 1981. Did it again, of course, in 1985. Did it in 1994 against Limerick. And now they're about to do it against one of the big powers in senior hurling. Hubert Rigney, it's all over. And Offaly are the All-Ireland hurling champions for 1998. Hubert Rigney, the captain, will take the Liam McCarthy Cup back down to the Midlands. But this time it'll be to Offaly. Michael Bond, one of the heroes, the man who came in, who turned around their season. But Offaly had so many heroes this afternoon. And the final score here shows Offaly winning by 6 points. It's Offaly 2 goals and 16 points. Kilkenny 1 goal and 13.
I didn't do anything to this team. They were there all along. They're a fabulous team, and what a wonderful day for Offaly and Offaly hurling. And I'd like to thank each and every one of the players, all 28 of them. I'm so proud for everybody, that the county board, the players, everybody else. I mean, I think it's a tremendous day from Offaly, and it just shows what can be done when players are brought along the right way.
Is Cúsmór Áhastam, Curan Vicarthy Avrama, Chapte and Vokov Offaly, Hubert Rigney.
It's a glorious moment for Offaly, for their captain Hubert Rigney. The Liam McCarthy Cup is won by Offaly. Champions for the 4th time ever. What a remarkable last 20 years it's been. Billy Dooley in there. What a day for the Dooley family.
Lucaran coming Lucas there. Greens are off wall, yeah. Tahan no Hasaram and Karen Shah Aglaka Harbaran off wall, yeah. We may have come in through the back door, but we're going out the front.
Unbelievable. That's great there in the second half. The commitment shown by the players was unbelievable, and our backs was to the wall at half time. We were 2 points down after playing with the breeze, so we had it all to do at half time, and I think we showed out there in the second half that this team has unbelievable fight back spirit.
You've done it more than once, of course, this year.
Yeah, well, we've done it a couple of times there in the Clare games, and we had a couple of hard games behind us, and I think it stood to us in the second half today.
Great goal, but I always knew you as a full-back, Joe Everty.
Yeah, I couldn't make it back there to shove me up the other end of the field. I think we'll all be remembered for today's performance. It was great character in the team today. As Johnny said, our backs were to the wall at half time, and we had a sort of a chat to ourselves at half time, and we said there's no way we were going down here without a fight. And the spirit in the team is absolutely unbelievable, and it showed there in the second half today. Total commitment, and when we got on top, we stayed on top, you know.
Goalkeeper Stephen Byrne, you had to do it again today.
Well, it's like this, Marty. I have this, and I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to let this one go now for a while. It's been a great year. It's unbelievable, like first year in the camp, and the lads are just
Lads are unbelievable. Like I told you that the last day. I said from 1 to 15, no matter how many lads are criticised, from the midfield in, our lads are criticised. Proved today, they're the best in Ireland.
I seen dead or something today, and I think only for the switch today, I probably could have been switched to the line, and I'd like to thank our selectors for moving me up, because it took, I wasn't in the game, and I think it helped out our backs as well, What can I say, we're All-Ireland champions, and it was a great display.
Well done, Brian. It's a great moment for the Wheelahans, because the younger brother was at number 2. Well done today, Simon.
Thank you very much, Marty. Thanks very much. It's a great day for Offaly, and especially us. What a year! 2 All-Irelands in 1 year. It's something special. I hope to God it lasts forever. Oh my God, it's fantastic.
But it's some way to win it.
Oh, in the first half now we were very poor. We didn't know where we were. But to come back, the performance we gave in the second half now was unbelievable. I'm delighted for everybody.
Oh geez, I was just dying the end there. The 2 boys were brilliant. The whole team was brilliant, and just delighted for everybody today. Sure, I thought we didn't have a great first half, and Brian didn't go well. The next thing, minute we did the forward line, everything started to work out for us. Just delighted for everybody today. I'm going to have a great night tonight.
I'm sure there'll be wild celebrations and bonfires in Burr, Kilcormac, Tullamore.
Oh, everywhere. We're going to have a right cheer now here.
I think all your best memories from your childhood, small little things like winning a cup, maybe even under 12, and the thought maybe that one day might be a bigger trophy on a bigger level.
You must leave now, take what you need, you think will last.